Boris Johnson, a name that still has the power to spark outrage across Britain. Imagine the man who led the country through its darkest health crisis, now mocking those still grieving the loss of their loved ones. Could anyone have anticipated such a reversal? And what does it mean when the very leader who ordered the COVID inquiry turns against it? Today, we dive into one of the most heated and painful stories uncovered by The Independent and Reuters, a tale of delayed decisions, fractured leadership, and thousands of lives that might have been saved. Why did Boris Johnson dismiss discussions about COVID deaths as endless wrangling? Why did the report led by Baroness Heather Hallett strike such a nerve? And was the delay in lockdown truly responsible for an estimated 23,000 additional deaths? These are not small questions. These are questions that shake the foundations of accountability in British politics. Families who waited years for answers were stunned when Johnson used his newspaper column not to apologize, but to ridicule concerns raised by the bereaved, a detail first highlighted by The Independent. Was this an attempt to rewrite the narrative, a political defense strategy, or simply a refusal to acknowledge the scale of the tragedy? According to the official inquiry, as covered by Reuters, the culture inside Downing Street during the pandemic was described as toxic and chaotic. If chaos was governing Britain during the most critical emergency of our lifetimes, what else was slipping through the cracks? And when the inquiry concluded that lockdown delays cost thousands of extra lives, Johnson did not challenge the evidence. Instead, he attacked the inquiry itself, accusing it of inconsistency and claiming it wanted more lockdowns. But was this genuine disagreement, or an effort to protect a political legacy already in decline? Then came his most shocking claim, that his greatest regret was imposing lockdown at all. At a time when most nations recognize lockdowns as essential tools to save lives, how could Britain have fared without them? Could the NHS have coped? Would the death toll have spiraled even further? And why does Johnson's view stand in such stark contrast to global conclusions long documented by agencies and investigations worldwide, including reports cited by AP? For the families who lost loved ones, Johnson's remarks were devastating. Many argued, loudly and rightly, that he bears responsibility for thousands of avoidable deaths. So the question is this: can a former leader simply distance himself from decisions that shape the destiny of a nation? Or does leadership demand accountability long after leaving office? And now, the biggest question of all: will the Hallett inquiry deliver meaningful change to prevent a similar disaster? Or will its findings fade into political noise while the wounds of thousands remain unhealed? This story is not about politics alone. It is about responsibility, truth, and the human cost of leadership gone wrong. And as the sources, The Independent, Reuters, and AP have all shown, the debate is far from over.